All right, welcome team. This is the Jeffco Virtual Academy Math PLC. And in the chat, you will see that I have shared our agenda for today. As always, I will be facilitating. Gwen, if you could be our note taker, and Dana, if you can watch our time to make sure we're not going too crazy over on our video, on our experience today, I would appreciate it. To get started, I'd love to just see what good things are going on out there, what's happening in your classrooms and what's happening with your personal lives. Good things.
I discovered a new coffee shop right by my house that is awesome. They sell plants and coffee, and it's filled with plants, and it's super cozy, and I can't wait to go work there.
That's fantastic. I love finding little hole in the walls where I can go work too. And I love coffee. So yum. Great.
Maybe a potential snow day tomorrow. And I just left the middle school meeting, and we instructed all of them to do all the things to bring a snow day. So we have
love it.
30 middle schoolers doing all the things.
Fantastic. I was told to put spoons under my pillow and all sorts of crazy things this morning. So I'm in. And if we are supposed to get the 6 to 9 inches on top of what we already have, it's looking pretty good for us. Awesome. Anyone else for today with good things? Awesome. All right, so moving along on our agenda, the next part is actually me just giving you an update. Yesterday afternoon, I had the opportunity to meet with the HMH Into Math headquarter team, like bigwigs, really big people with Into Math. And it was because Stacy had even reported, our rep, that we were really struggling with how to make the Into Math curriculum work and embed into Schoology. And so we were working through some of those questions. And Amy, I know you've been in touch with your Coachly coach and didn't find much success there. So we've been actually talking about now bringing in their tech team to work directly with us so we can get the best and most out of the features with Into Math, so we can get it into our LMS and be as purposeful and relevant with how we're implementing the new curriculum. And to do that, they are going to also be looking for other asynchronous online schools that are based in Schoology that use Into Math, so that hopefully we can partner with them and get some samples of how they embed everything into the content. So, and do we know if we've gotten the textbooks yet on campus?
I haven't followed up with Ryan about that.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. Usually they would tell us when a delivery gets made.
Okay, so I asked them to follow up on the books that we ordered as well. So then if someone could please take ownership of that task to ask Ryan, so that we can make sure we have those books, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you would own that task by assigning your name to it in the agenda notes, that would be great. Thank you.
Thanks, Cassidy. I think, speaking for myself, having the tech group will be much more useful than the Coachly, just because that's, I think, where most of our questions are. So that's perfect.
I think so too. And when I was presenting the problems that we were having, they had no concept of how to solve it. And so they were very clearly like, we're going to get the tech team involved on this and see what we can do to support you. So I did feel like our concerns were heard, and that we are going to get some more support from the Into Math people.
That's how I found out that we couldn't embed custom assignments. I had called the tech department. If y'all remember, I had sent a text to the math team. So, but I would need that number again.
Okay, no problem. I will make sure I get that for you. Is there any other things that we need to talk about with Into Math and the new curriculum before we get started with the bulk of our day for today? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to turn it kind of over to Amy, so we can start the internalization protocol. You'll notice in the agenda that we all have access to Amy's document, and that I want us all being able to contribute to that as we have our conversation, because Amy's going to be walking us through, and she's going to need help having all the different things that we said being added to that protocol so that she can develop it further after we're done with this part today. And I'm really excited to be doing this internalization protocol as a team together, since we're looking at how Amy is embedding into math into her classes with the middle schoolers. So without any other stuff, Amy, you want to take over?
Okay, so I thought I would just present the unit to you guys and just talk you through a little bit. So the unit is proportional relationships. So it's the beginning, they're starting to introduce linear equations. In this unit, they're not having a y-intercept. Everything is through the origin. There is 4 lessons. Explain slope with similar triangles. So they were trying to show them how to calculate slope with a similar triangle. And then from there, derive y equals mx. Again, a proportional relationship looking at those similar triangles to find slope. Then they applied that to real life, interpret and graph proportional relationships, so taking it out of the theoretical and seeing how it is in real life. And then the last lesson was compare proportional relationships. So they would have like a situation with 2 or 3 somebody running a race or buying, comparing grocery store prices and determining, which was the fastest, which is the lowest cost, that kind of thing. Are there any specific questions about what the actual content is for this unit? Does that kind of make sense, the overview? I will say, and y'all can tell me what you think about this in terms of as you build upon this concept, this lesson about explain slope with similar triangles, I removed some of it, and I'll show you. They put triangles on coordinate plane, and they got into transformation of triangles with dilations, and I just felt like this overcomplicated the idea of reducing a fraction. And so I kind of edited this some. I'm showing you the online textbook. So I'm trying to see if there was anything. There was also, they did this weird, it's the slope formula, but I just felt like it was a lot more complicated than like a basic introduction to slope. So I did simplify that a little bit.
I think that was a good call.
Yeah, because I didn't want them to get distracted by transformations when they're trying to figure out slope,
Exactly.
I wonder if some of this is trying to build on into math lessons in the 7th grade curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
It might be connecting back, but to this specific curriculum.
We did do similar triangles. I don't remember if I think it was unit 2. So now I agree with you. I kind of see how they structured the curriculum, that we have previously done similar triangles to build upon it. But now I will say, at least in the 8th grade curriculum, we had not reduced fractions yet. So I had to give them a mini lesson on reducing a fraction in this. We did lesson 1 and 2 this week. We did deriving, we did the finding slope and writing an equation.
Other than what you just talked about, do they seem pretty well prepared for it?
I have had a couple reach out that they're struggling, because the other thing is, so my 7th graders this year did proportional relationships, but as far as 8th grade is concerned, we had not reviewed proportional relationships yet. So I don't know how much they remembered from last year.
Do you have a plan to kind of gauge where they are at and to see where they're going to be starting from?
I did not give the pretest, but we could, if we get to it in the protocol, I can show you the data from their practice assignments from lesson 1 and lesson 2.
I think what I would also really like to see is what this looks like in Schoology, however you're putting it in for students to see for the student experience.
Okay, I'll show you that right now. So this is week 3. Can y'all see that? I changed screens.
We sure can.
So this is week 3. Here's my schedule for the week. Monday and Tuesday was lesson 1. And like I had mentioned, Monday was a little different because I didn't like the online textbook. So I made them a video. Like, I took screenshots from the textbook, but kind of explained it a little differently. Because like you can see right there, that first picture right there, that was the first part of the textbook there. So then Tuesday was their practice assignment, and that's what I was saying. I could show you all the data from that. Wednesday and Thursday is their online textbook, and then their practice assignment. If y'all want to look, I can show y'all the online textbook. So this was deriving y equals mx. And so this was like they were finding points. This explains slope as rise over run, and they were finding points on the line. And then you can see right here, like here's a table with points and reducing it to get the equation. You can see here, like from day 1 to day 2, how much did the graph rise? I did have a student reach out this week, and she was asking me questions about her practice assignment, and she had gotten the rise and the run flipped. So she sent me pictures of her assignment and wanted me to go over what she missed. They also struggled with, when I looked at it, they struggled with positive slope versus negative slope, knowing, and I don't think the textbook did a great job highlighting how to recognize when it was positive and how to recognize when it was negative. I can show you their practice assignment this week.
I guess as you're thinking through this, what would be the safety net kind of assignment to say, like, if you know there's misconceptions about the rise and the run, what are your safety net like materials or teaching plans?
So I have my page with my learning target, my vocabulary, and then in this video, I try to put in things like that I think they're going to get wrong or make mistakes on.
So you're using your video as your exemplar.
Yeah.
Awesome. Jason.
It was kind of hard to see in the work there, but did I also see some exemplar of talking about when the student got the problem correct? It had a little summary about it. I'm assuming then it would give an exemplar of if they did something wrong, of either it being right, an exemplar of it being right, or some sort of reteaching in that moment as well?
Yeah, that I can show you that, Jason. That's a great point. So like if I get this one wrong, it gives them the hint that she read 50 pages each day. Like I could do this one too. So let's say they miscounted and said 25. So it kind of summarized the problem. After one day, she had read 50 pages. After 2 days, she had read 100 pages.
I love that immediate feedback for the kiddos. Trisha.
One thing that I've done in the past too is when I feel like some of the curriculum has holes in it, I might go out to like Khan Academy because they're short and sweet. And that's what we want here when we're trying to fill in holes. We want something kind of quick, or even to get them thinking back to maybe what they did last year in 7th grade math. So just a thought with that.
Well, and I have the plan of next year adding more videos of exemplars of actual problems, of finding similar problems, and like video me working through it. Not just a lesson summary, but like actual problems that are similar to their practice assignment.
Awesome.
Yeah.